Hello, what's up, guys? Eric MN Twins 28 here, vlog episode number 28, and it is Sunday, October 18th. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon, off the heels of another disappointing Minnesota Vikings loss. This was disgusting. Vikings went into this game 1-4, heading against the 0-5 Atlanta Falcons. Falcons went 0-5 after losing last week. They fired their head coach and their general manager. Vikings were coming into this after a heartbreaking loss to Seattle. Almost won. Should have won that game. But this weekend, this game, week 6 at home, it was an absolute train wreck. Heading into the bye week this following week, before week 8 against the Packers in Lambeau. Everybody expected the Vikings to bounce back and win and head into the bye 2-4. That didn't happen. Minnesota and their wonderful defense that Coach Zimmer claims he's never had a bad defense. Bullshit. Gave up 40 points. The final score was Atlanta 40, Minnesota 23. Let me give you some of the stats. We'll start with the Falcons. Matt Ryan, 30 for 40 attempts, 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. He had a good game. Todd Gurley, he had 20 rushes for 47 yards, no touchdowns. So the Vikings did a good job defensively stopping the run. It was, of course, the passing game that hurt them. Julio Jones, returning from a growing injury, 8 receptions, 137 yards, 2 TDs. Ridley, 6 receptions, 61 and a touchdown. Hurst, 4 receptions, 57 yards and a touchdown. It was just, it was a passing frenzy for the Dirty Birds. Here's the stats for. Let's go with defense first for them. I'm reading this without my glasses or contacts, so bear with me. Defensively, they had, looks like 1 sack. Yeah, they had 1 sack and 3 picks. So defensively, they did pretty good. Here's our stats now for the Vikings. For Kirk Cousins, 24 for 36, 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he was intercepted 3 times, all in the first half, including like the first play of the game or something like that. Really bad. Alexander Madison in for the injured yet again. Dalvin Cook, 10 rushes, 26 yards, no touchdowns. Amir Abdullah had two rushes for 7 yards, and then Mike Boone had 1 rush for -1 yards. That was a 4th and 1. They couldn't even get 1 lousy yard. They lost 1 on that play. So the rushing game was non-existent, as we only got 26-7. So we got 32 yards because we had a -1. It would have been 33 yards. So yeah, a negative 32 yards rushing is all we did today. In the passing game, though, we had a great game. Justin Jefferson, 9 receptions, 166 yards, 2 TDs. So he was a beast yet again. Irv Smith was pretty good. 4 receptions for 55 yards. Adam Thielen, 3 for 51 and a touchdown. So Thielen and Jefferson looked good. Smith looked good. It's nice to see Smith get in there. Kyle Rudolph had 3 touches for 47 yards. Rudy looked good. No touchdowns to him. Chad Beebe, 2 receptions, 13. He had no business being out there. I don't know why they're playing this guy. He's trash. They should have fed the ball more to Smith, Thielen, and Rudolph. But it is what it is. So, kicking, Dan Bailey made his extra points. Didn't have any field goal attempts. Defensively, Kendricks led with 2 tackles, 2 assisted tackles. Dantzler was absolute trash. He had 9 tackles, but he got torched. He had 2 really nice tackles at the beginning of the game, but then he gave up the touchdown to Julio Jones. He got burned. Gladney had 7 tackles, but he also got burned. Harris had 5 for 3 assists. I'm looking here for sack totals, and I believe Odenabo had a sack and a half, And I don't know who had the other half sack. It's not listing it, but Odenabo had a good game. So that's nice to see him in replace of Danielle Hunter, who's pretty much done for the season. But yeah, it was an ugly loss for the Vikings. I'm absolutely livid. They should have won this game. There was no excuses. And I'm officially done with Kirk Cousins. I've been off and on him. But it's time to move on. We need to draft a quarterback for the future. We have to think about the future because it's not going to happen with Kirk Cousins. I mean, yes, he put up good numbers, but he continues to make boneheaded plays. 3 picks in the first quarter, the first half. I mean, he had times he had guys wide open and he continues to miss them. He doesn't trust his star receivers. He's always constantly looking at Adam Thielen when he's covered, and he gets picked. On the one pick, for the first pick, Jefferson was coming across the field, and he had a window, a huge window. He could have thrown it right there, but he threw it when Jefferson was towards the end, and he got picked off. Kurt's vision is terrible. I'm sorry, it's time he needs to be benched. I know he's making $84 million, and the backups are not that good, but you need to make a statement. You need to sit him down and say, this is not because we think we can win with these other guys. It's just, he needs to be made an example of. And then, of course, that falls on the coaching. Zimmer's stubbornness to bench him and to make plays. Zimmer's calling the defense and saying he's putting the blame on everybody but himself. It's bad play calling. And of course, it comes down to also the general manager and their continued failed attempts to fix the offensive line and the corners and the scheming and all that is the coach and the general manager. The Vikings, I know they just gave them an extension, but I know it's going to be harder because of the pandemic. They don't have fans, so they're not making any revenue. But it's time to move on. The Wilfs have 2 weeks to prepare for the Packers. We have a bye next week, and then we have the Packers. The time is now to fire and make a coaching change. I was a fan of Zimmer's when we signed him. I thought, great, we need somebody like him. He's hard-nosed. He's like Parcells and Bud Grant, but it's not working. We need an offensive-minded coach. We need to make a change now and just move on for the rest of the season. If we're going to end up losing the rest of the games, then so be it. I might as well make a change and just have at it. We're 1-5 now. We're unacceptable. We're in the top 5 for draft pick. And if this holds up, we'll probably at least get one of the 3. But do we trust Rick Spielman to make the call and draft the quarterback we need, even though we are paying Kirk Cousins $84 million? I think you need to draft the quarterback of the future because Kirk Cousins is not it. We had the quarterback of the future, and they let him go. They gave up on him, and I'm talking about Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, yes, he had a bad leg injury that could have been career-threatening, but they should have given him more time. They should have re-signed Keenum and gone with him in 2018. They could have said, we're going to go with Kurt. We're going to give you another year or a half a season to get ready, Teddy, and it's yours again in 2018. They could have saved so much money, and they could have spent all that money to pay Kirk Cousins to rebuild the offensive line and the defense, and it could be a whole different story the last 3 seasons. But here we are. We're in cap hell because of Kirk Cousins and because of some boneheaded free agent decisions we decided to stay in-house to guys that we should have probably passed on instead of going after guys we should have been filling these holes with. This is ridiculous. I love Minnesota, but the loyalty of certain players, it needs to end. We need a new philosophy in Minnesota. I'm tired of losing. I'm going to be 42 in a few weeks, and I still have yet to see this team make it to the Super Bowl. My poor father, he's in his mid-60s, and he's been through 4 Super Bowls. I'd like to see them win 1 before my father passes away and before I pass. This is ridiculous. It's time for a change. So that's my rant for today. Vikings, I'm sorry. I'm done with them this season. It's time to just say fuck it. And they need to draft quarterback and plan for the future, and they need to get rid of some of the dead weight and just rebuild. It's time. and that's better. This is the week to do it. You got a bye week. You got extra week off before the Packers game. And we all know Aaron Rodgers is salivating at the thought of burning Dantzler and Gladney. He's going to do it like he did week 1. It's coming. So we might as well do the changes now. It's time. I'm sorry, but I don't like seeing anybody losing their job, but it's time to make a change. Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman, you got to go. It's time. And hopefully the Wolves eat the money and say, it's time. So that's my take for this week. I'm pretty disappointed with the Vikings. This sucks because 2 of my favorite sports seasons are in progress right now. You got baseball. Twins are out. They disappointed again. And now the Vikings. 1-5. Unacceptable. There's nothing else until next spring. So that's it for now. See you guys next time. Peace out.